The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of our Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. Before we even go anywhere into this video, I highly recommend watching Elliot's video talking about homelessness. So if you want to sit here and get mad at me for my opinions about Teen Titans Go and other Western animated series and just Western media in general, please watch his video first and then come back. Hey y'all, it's Harriana. I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana. Welcome back to The Pirate Ship, also known as Harry Who's Pirate Ship. I'm the captain. You are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why. Bring your ear closer to the speaker so you can hear me clearly. No one's worthy of being the first mate. But hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana, and I like to make content based on nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. Today we're here just to talk about the hobo trope and the way homelessness is portrayed in popular media, and how I just feel as though this is something that I don't think we need to be making fun of because of the current state of our economy. But before we go any further, there is just a little shameless plug. I just realized I don't even have it. Let me go grab it. Okay, I got it. So me and my good friend Amaya Janelle, we have two books that are about fandom, misogyny, ableism, entertainment, and white feminism. The first part of the collection is called Do Not Call Me Sis, and then the second part is called You Still Do Not Call Me Sis, because we always have something to say. So if you guys are interested in reading about our thoughts and opinions about social media, but also our mainstream media regarding things such as Nickelodeon and Disney Channel and all that jazz, we highly recommend checking out our books. As I was saying, a few years back when I made a video talking about classism and a lot of the shows that we watched growing up that will be on Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, I did talk about this hobo trope that he who shall not be named likes to put in his work. And I can't even say his name because the last time I made an entire video about that man, it got demonetized. And what recently made me think about this trope is because I've been watching Cartoon Network a lot more lately, because I like to have it on in the background when I'm doing homework or studying, or as I was saying, I have been watching Cartoon Network a lot more lately, and they constantly air commercials about Teen Titans Go. And it is like in the commercial, you see the hobo character that they always put in the series every now and then. And it just was starting to irritate me, especially with the current state of the economy, like I said. And before anybody tries to jump on my ass, y'all like to assume that anybody that has any type of criticism towards Teen Titans Go in this day and age is that they dunking on the show. And no. I do think that a lot of the Teen Titans Go hate was a bit much, but also it feels as though we have gotten to a stage where people feel like if you have any criticism towards the series, that you're just doing too much and it's not that deep because it's a kid's show. And while I do like Teen Titans Go, this is from somebody that does enjoy the show. Just because this is a show on a family entertainment network does not mean that it is immune from criticism when it does ignorant things. But in Teen Titans Go, there is this one particular hobo character, and that's literally what he is. And pretty much anytime we see this type of caricature in our media, they are all pretty much portrayed the same type of way, and they all act similarly to each other. And I'm going to sit here and read a bit of it to you from TV Tropes. Hobos are either homeless people viewed through an industrial lens, nostalgia filter, or live in Americana. Free-willing folks, usually men, for who any number of reasons live a wealth-free life, stowing away on freight trains and moving from town to town looking for campfire and a good can of beans. Having been everywhere, seen everything, and met everyone, the patricians, y'all, it's been a long day, of poverty are full of tall tales and song, not to mention sage advice. Some may claim to have been men of status, mayors, railroad tycoons, and heavyweight champs, brought low by dumb luck, while others willfully renounced the stationary life. Many varieties of hobo will recount his story in detail if you have the time.
The regents of rails are never far from the train tracks and almost always carry bindle sticks. They usually found clad in their traditional attire, such as trousers filled with mismatched patches and ragged shoes that leave the big toe prominently exposed. Oftentimes, one shoe will be missing and replaced by a rag tie about the butt.
I'm very vocal about how I feel as though the media we consume affects how we treat people in the real world. And I'm gonna be honest, in a lot of Western animation, is targeted towards kids and just people of all ages, a general audience to be more specific. A lot of them don't do a good job of educating us on the homeless. More so, they constantly make fun of the homeless. And I've noticed that a lot of my classmates growing up, they were not the nicest to homeless people. Like, I felt like it was kind of normalized for us to speak it down on people who don't have anywhere to live. And I remember when I was involved with cheerleading when I was younger, there was a situation where there was a homeless man that was living behind the gym. He was living behind the gym, and one way we figured it out is because we noticed that somebody had been stacking cans behind the gym, and we were trying to figure out where the fuck these things came from. And then next thing you know, somebody had told us that they had noticed that there was a homeless man walking around behind the gym, and we put two and two together that we realized those were his cans. Mind you, I was really young when this happened, and it really did hit me, showing that it is a privilege to be able to have somewhere to live, but also somewhere safe to live. It's just really irritating how making fun of homeless people is done for the shits and giggles, because this is something that isn't a laughing matter, like, whatsoever, especially because of the city that I live in. We have a very, very bad homeless rate. Like, anybody that is or from Atlanta or in the Atlanta area, y'all know that there are so many homeless people that roam around on Memorial Drive simply asking for money, or they're just simply asking for food and water. And I think everyone should have food and water. Those are basic things. And I also think everyone deserves to have somewhere safe to live. Like, I'm not trying to come off and sit here as being the friend that's too woke, but you're never too woke for wanting to care about people. But it's just this ongoing trope of characters making fun of homeless people. And I talked about it with iCarly before. It's funny because even on the TV Tropes page, they mentioned how iCarly loves to make fun of homeless people. And they constantly are talking about the hobo did this, the hobo did that. And there was an entire episode where they went to Los Angeles and they were staying in this really nasty motel, and there was a homeless man that kept breaking into it.
iCarly. Hobos are often found or mentioned as a joke. In I Arrange Gibby, Carly even has a hobo party where everyone dresses up as a hobo. Hobo are present in pretty much all of his works too. He usually offers a definition for a term and how it's different than just homeless in a blog post. Not that it helped. Multiple complaints forced iCarly to stop with the hobo jokes in 2011. Are y'all fully understanding why I can't stand this man now? Are y'all getting it?
Like, I was talking about how I have a lot of issues with he, how shall not be named work. And I'm not going to sit here and tell people that they can and cannot watch his stuff, because they are free to do whatever the fuck they want. But he has a really big issue with making fun of everybody. And it's sad because I had noticed how a lot of these behaviors that people were talking about in these shows, they rubbed off in real life. Because the way a lot of the characters treated homeless people in his series, as in iCarly and Victorious and Drake and Josh, my classmates would be repeating the same things. And am I sitting here and saying that we can't talk about homelessness in our mainstream media? Absolutely not, because life imitates art, art imitates life. But like I said, with the way our economy is set up right now, I think us constantly making fun of homeless people really does need to stop. There's a lot of jokes out here that I will never find to be funny. SA jokes is one of them, but also I'm really getting sick and tired of the homeless jokes, because people don't seem to realize that it is extremely easy to become homeless, because we all know what recently happened in Southern California at the beginning of this year, where there were a lot of LA fires. A lot of people were homeless after that because their house burned down. People don't seem to realize that they are one payment away from being homeless. It is really hard for people to get a stable job that pays enough rent to where they can live on their own. That is why we are seeing more and more people have roommates. I don't know, it just really rubs me the wrong way. And like I said, I don't want to I was actually really nervous to make this because it's like anytime you say anything slightly negative regarding Teen Titans Go, and I get it because I felt like a lot of people were just dunking on the show for attention back in the day and constantly comparing it to the 2003 series, which in my opinion has flaws too just as well. Teen Titans Go has problems, but Teen Titans 2003 got problems just as well. It just feels like anytime you critique Teen Titans media in general, people want to get their panties in a bunch. And I was like, no, the way this show treats homeless people is not funny, and it really should be called out. But like I said, they're not going to take the show off air. They're not going to take these scenes out because one person said something about it, okay? Like I said, I am just a woman in her 20s that just want to talk shit sometimes, okay? I just want to talk my shit and speak about the things that matter to me. But because people like to sit here and say that I am too negative, I only want to speak about the negative things, let's sit here and talk about some positive ways homelessness has been portrayed in our media. And I don't even want to sit here and say positives because this isn't like a happy-go-lucky situation whatsoever, but I will talk about the way it was portrayed in a much better way. And I want to bring up the 2023 Little Mermaid film. If you got something negative to say about Ariel being Black, I don't give a flying fuck, okay? Move past it. The movie been made, it's already out, and I do think it was very well done. That's just my personal opinion, that's just my personal taste. But one of my favorite scenes in the film had to do with Ariel after she found out that Eric was now going to be marrying another woman who was Vanessa, who was basically just Ursula in disguise. Now, the reason I bring this scene up is because people don't seem to realize that in those moments, Ariel realized that she was homeless. She couldn't stay with Eric no more because he was about to marry another woman, and she couldn't go back under the sea because she didn't have her gills no more. She couldn't breathe. She was gonna die if she literally tried to go back home underwater. And her family didn't know where the fuck she was. So in that moment, she was homeless, and she also couldn't speak. She couldn't really do much of anything for herself, and at that time you could really take in how scary that type of situation was. And even though it only happened for a few minutes in that film, I think it did a very good job of depicting how scary homelessness is. Being homeless is something that is not to laugh about. And then another show that I really do enjoy called The Golden Girls, which I think a lot of Gen Z need to watch because y'all have such negative ass opinions about old people. There is an episode of The Golden Girls where they were looking for an item. It's been a minute since I've seen the episode, okay? But they end up staying in a homeless shelter for that night, and they were very much appreciative of the fact that they have a home to go to, because after they sat there, spent the night with the homeless people and talked to them about what they were going through, they realized that this is difficult, and they never realized what it was like to finally put themselves in somebody else's shoes. The Golden Girls by far is not a perfect series whatsoever, and this episode was a bit chaotic, but I do think it did handle the subject of homelessness a bit well because it showed the ugly side of it. I think what frustrates me the most is that when it comes to family media, which is why I praise the new Little Mermaid film, is that it is rare for them to actually portray homelessness in a realistic light, opposed to them making fun of homeless people. And I just don't think that is like a good thing to be seeing constantly growing up, because I did realize that I did have negative opinions about homeless people because I watched a lot of iCarly and Victorious, and I thought that those people were genuinely terrible and that all of them were like that. And that is not true whatsoever. Because I remember when I was about like a preteen, we ended up having an event where we were learning about homelessness, and one of the administrators had even spoke about how she was homeless at one point and how it was a really terrible and scary experience. I just want to get on here and rant about this because I strongly dislike the hobo trope, and it's the fact that we are still seeing this damn trope being done in the 2020s, and I thought we left that shit in the 2010s at least, but I see we aren't. Okay, I'm not trying to sit here and tell people what they can and cannot do with their comedy, but I'm kind of getting sick and tired of comedy that just depends on people's like suffering, I'd say. Because I'm somebody that will sit here and laugh and kiki about what my anxiety and depression does to me, but that is just me making fun of my own pain. I'm not about to sit here and make fun of somebody else's, and it's just kind of like out of touch for me because we know that the film industry, the animation industry, it's in places that are like Los Angeles and New York, and it's just like y'all know that these places have very, very high homeless rates. Like y'all are aware that there are very very high homeless rates, and then you sit here and make fun of these people that won't even have the opportunity to work on your series all the time. Like, I just don't get it. It's just really gross to me, and I'm tired. Thank y'all for watching this video. I deeply appreciate it. Thank y'all for sitting here and just listening to me rant. I hope you got something from this, because y'all know the objective of my videos is that I just want y'all to learn. The hobo trope sucks. Please don't make fun of homeless people, because you could be homeless at any moment. Because somebody had even said something like, oh, but rich people don't have to worry about being homeless, yada yada yada. Y'all saw them LA fires? A whole bunch of rich people's houses burned down. And when I say rich people, I'm not talking about like billionaires, the people that y'all should be mad at. I'm talking about people that are pretty much well off. Their houses were burned down and they ended up homeless. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys are interested in my books or anything on my website, the link to that will be down below. Deeply do appreciate your support. Thank y'all for sitting here and listening to me yap. I deeply appreciate it. Have a great day, night, or whatever time of the day you chose to watch this video. I'm just thankful that you watched it with the ads on. Alright, thank you. Goodbye.